News Center 16's Joel Porter was nearby as officers caught up with the man. Joel, what can you tell us?
Well, for one thing, Tricia, it was a very feverish morning. The call came in around 11. We are told that the man, who we're told his name is Terry Dean, apparently he walked into the courthouse, found out he was wanted on a number of outstanding charges. Then he decided to flee. Once that happened, several officers from both St. Joe County and South Bend Police converged downtown to keep an eye out. It was actually a plainclothes officer who spotted Dean in a neighborhood nearby. And that is when several officers arrived here at the corner of William and Navarre and were able to safely take Dean into custody. One sergeant with St. Joe County who we talked to had this to say.
When officers in the courthouse tried to detain him, he took off running.
Sergeant Nowicki, when we asked him, credits several officers who worked together closely along with the same radio channel. They were able to really coordinate efficiently with one another, letting them know what exactly was happening. That led to this whole arrest, and the entire time, Tricia, took less than an hour until they were able to safely take Dean into custody. Now, we're still confirming exactly what all charges he was facing, but you can add another list of fleeing to that list.
Oh, I bet. Now, Joel, how hard did the man make it for officers to track him down?
From the courthouse, which is on South Main Street in South Bend, to here at the corner of William and Navarre, Tricia, just a little over a half mile that he made it until officers were able to swarm, for lack of a better word, and find him.
News Center 16's Joel Porter spoke to UAW Local 9 members about the latest in the Honeywell dispute. And Joel, this has been a long summer for them.
Yeah, to say the least, Maureen. Workers were walked off the job on May 9th as their contract expired. They have been waiting months for a new deal. And that hasn't happened yet. But today they received one bit of good news as Honeywell and Local 9 leaders announced in 2 weeks they will resume negotiations. On a warm afternoon, things are relatively quiet outside the Honeywell plant in South Bend, but you'll still find a union presence.
I originally thought they wouldn't last 3 weeks. I'm sure they originally thought we wouldn't last 3 weeks.
The UAW Local 9 workers have been waiting to clock in since May when their last contract expired and Honeywell ordered them out. But after 4 months worth of protests and waiting, this week Honeywell announced it'll resume negotiations with Local 9 leaders starting the week of September 12th.
They're not willing to settle, or nor are we, for this last best and final offer. We have to have a little bit more in what they're doing, and they're really wanting us to work for nothing.
The work stoppage affects around 340 UAW Local 9 members. Union reps and Honeywell already sat down this summer to bargain in good faith, but were unable to strike a deal on a new long-term contract. Union members I spoke with say after more than 100 days, some of their coworkers have left to find other jobs, but they say news of renewed negotiations between the two parties is a boost in morale.
I think it excites most of us. We are eager to get back to the table. We don't want to be out here. We want to be in there working. We want to make a living for our children and our families.
Honeywell leaders have hired temporary workers to fulfill contract orders around the country. After the Local 9 rejected the company's proposal, Honeywell left it up to union leaders to resume talks, but say, we are not going to keep adding to an offer just because the union says it doesn't like it and declines to provide counterproposals. Though we are prepared to consider modifications and continue to bargain in good faith, we did not intend to make the final offer any richer overall after the May 3rd date.
We have to have a benefit that we can work with. If it's going to cost me $8,000 a year out of my pocket for my family before my premiums, anything else they're offering me really does not cover that.
If any deal is reached between the two sides, Local 9 leaders say the workers would have a chance to read over the contract before calling a vote.
Okay, and we previously reported Local 9 members' unemployment benefits were tied up in court. Is that still the case?
Well, Maureen, they got a bit of good news on that as well, as an Indiana judge ruled in their favor that allows most of the Local 9 workers to collect that unemployment, which they admit it doesn't go as far as a paycheck,
sure,
but it does help them pay the bills in the meantime until the contract is, or something is brought forth that they can live with.
Exactly.
From WNDU, your breaking news and weather authority. This is News Center 16 at 11.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Joel Porter. Here are tonight's top stories. A Mishawaka woman is dead and one man is in jail charged with her murder. Court documents say Donald Wilson has been involved in a deadly encounter before. Dozens of homeowners lost nearly everything when a series of tornadoes ripped through Indiana. This weekend, volunteers of all ages are spending time in Kokomo, helping others pick up the pieces. And you can't beat a square deal. We'll tell you how a home improvement business is helping out some Michiana homeowners who are cleaning up flood damage of their own. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck is making around $18 million this year, not counting endorsements. Not to mention he has an architecture degree from Stanford. But one thing he doesn't need, apparently, is one of those fancy phones with a smart screen you see all the kids carrying. Luck has carried a flip phone around since he got drafted. Well, why change now? He has a nice shiny new one to admire. He posted this pic to his Facebook page this week saying, "This is not Throwback Thursday. Thanks to AT&T for the sweet hookup on the new phone." In a USA Today interview this month, Luck said he goes to the flip phone. It's a matter of comfort. Says he likes not being connected to it 24/7.
I didn't even know they made flip phones anymore. I had it specially
Good enough for your
ordered from
parents.
them.
It's good enough for him. And I'll bet that battery's got to last a cool
Yeah, right.
4 days.
Yeah, no kidding. Remember those days?
Yeah, oh, yes. I bet it was a
Oh,
Nokia,
it's
too.
a good feeling. You could drop it in the lake if you want to. It still works.
Well, we had some lakes out there this